Welcome to the Mail training videos. This video covers using the email selection list and the email selection functions, which assist in searching for emails and performing various operations on multiple emails, such as deleting a group of emails, moving a group of emails to a new folder, marking a group of emails as unread, and automatically creating routing rules while moving emails to a new folder. First, we will look at the layout of the selection list itself and the actions which can be performed on the list directly. The selection list contains groups of information, one for each account that's defined in MailBelay. As you can see in the example here, the first group is titled Comcast for my Comcast account and has a summary at the bottom that gives the total number of emails in any of the folders that are in that group. There are groups for each of the other accounts, and you can scroll the list down to look at each of the different accounts. Scroll it back up to Comcast in this case, and you can also look inside any of the individual folders by tapping on that folder to open up and view all of the contents. You can close the folder by tapping again, and you can perform that on any of the individual folders. If there's nothing in the folder, as in the case of the Sent folder, no action will take place if you tap on it. It's simply empty. Please note also that for each folder within the account that contains emails which have not been read yet, there is an item above the folder which tells you the number of unread emails that are inside that folder. In this case, the inbox contains 971 unread emails, and the test folder, which we created in an earlier demonstration, contains one unread email. If I tap on the inbox, you'll notice several emails, and you can tell by the icon whether the email has been read or not. To read an individual email, we simply tap on that item to bring up the email, and you'll notice that the icon changes to indicate that the mail has been opened. In this case, and in several of the cases that you see here, the emails do not have any attachments. Let's close this folder for a moment and go to the test folder and look at a different example of an email which has not been read yet, but which has an attachment. In this case, the icon looks similar to what you saw before, but there's also a yellow paper clip, and this indicates an unread email that contains one or more attachments. We'll tap on this item to bring up the email, and you can see, in this case, a scroll list of all the individual attachments, as well as the email itself. Now that I've tapped on that item and opened the email, the icon changes that indicates the email has been opened and there is still one or more attachments on it. When there are attachments on an email, you can perform a long press on the icon for the attachment, as you see in the example here. And then there are several different functions that you can perform on an attachment. In many different cases, there is an in-app viewer that you can use to look at the contents of the attachment. As in this case, it's an image used by a company, and you can look at it immediately. You can then cancel that view. Let's do the long press again. You can open this in another application if there are applications available. In our test demo, other applications that can read this file are not installed, so we can press this and the action will not take place here. But on your iPad, if you have other applications that are compatible with the attachment that can read it, it will then give you the option of selecting another application installed on the iPad and will transfer the attachment to that application for your further use. Doing a long press one more time, we can also remove this attachment from the email, or we can hide the attachment icons for convenience sake so we can see more of it. You can scroll up and down, scroll the entire email up and down. If we want to look at the attachments again, the small arrow that you see in the example here can be tapped to bring them back, and you can then scroll back and forth to look at all of your different attachments. You can perform the long press on any one of them, look at the different views, In this case, it was just a single white bar. We'll cancel that. So there's a lot of quick flexibility, simply tapping to bring up the email, scrolling the attachments, doing long press, and performing various operations on the attachment. One other operation that we can perform directly on the email selection list without using the external functions, which we will cover shortly, is deletion of individual emails. If I close the test folder and go to my drafts folder, I have some sample emails here, and I would like to delete one of those. Without using anything externally, we can swipe to the left and tap on delete, and that will immediately delete that email from MailValet. There are also a set of selection list functions provided which enhance what can be done with the email selection list. If you tap on the Mail List button at the top of the main window, you will see a new pop-up which gives search capability, allows you to put the selection list into edit mode where you can move or delete individual emails, and which provides several multi-select functions to work on groups of emails. One thing that is unique about this pop-up is that it will not close when you tap outside of the pop-up boundaries. This is because it needs to remain visible while we perform multiple operations on the email selection list and on individual emails in the list. To close this pop-up, tap on Close this dialog as you see here. We discussed deletion of individual emails directly from the selection list a few moments ago. Now we will use the selection list functions to show how to place the list into edit mode and then demonstrate both deleting a single email and moving an individual email from one folder to another with a drag and drop operation. So let's tap on the mail list icon again, and this time in the section on email list editing and selection, tap on Edit Email List. You'll notice then that the email selection list has gone into edit mode. And a way that we can delete an email here is to tap on the minus sign and then tap on delete as before. You'll also notice that there are small handles to move individual emails that are now present as well. We can move individual emails from one folder to another with the drag and drop operation by doing a press on the handle and moving it down so that it's, for example, under the trash folder rather than drafts, and then let go. You'll see now that the email has been moved from drafts to the trash folder. We can come back over then to the pop-up and select Reset Email List to Normal, and it will go out of edit mode. We can leave that up, and we can go back over and tap on Trash to close the folder, tap again to reopen it. And if we tap on the drafts folder, we'll see that there is no response because we have moved the last remaining email from the drafts folder to the trash folder. Now let's have a look at how you can search for a group of emails, select any number of emails from the group, and perform operations on all of the selected emails at once. Let's suppose that I know I have a number of emails about the Surface tablet PC that I have received into MailValet, and I would like to find them all as a group, then select some emails out of the group and delete them. To do that, I'll tap on Mail List to get the selection list functions up. And this time, instead of placing the selection list in edit mode using the Edit Email List function like we did last time, I'll use the multi-select emails to put the selection list in multi-select mode. But before I do that, I'll go ahead and open my unread emails, and I'd like to search for subject of Surface. So I'll type that in and wait for a couple of seconds for the query to take place. And now I have all of the emails listed in the selection list that have Surface in the subject, and in my case that's talking about the Surface tablet PC. I can tap on individual emails to view them, several at a time, and you'll notice when I do that the pop-up shrinks in size so that you can see more of the email. When that happens, you can scroll so you can still get to all of the functions. You can scroll back up to the top. And for right now, I'm going to just look at a few more of them, as you see here. Go down to the bottom of the ones that were found. And so, okay, I'm satisfied and I know which ones that I would like to delete. I'll come back up and just tap here for a second to increase the size of the pop-up again. And now I'll go ahead and use the multi-select emails function, as you see here. Once I do that, notice that the change that happened in the pop-up. Edit email list is grayed out. Multi-select emails is now grayed out now that it is already in, the selection list is already in multi-select mode. And other functions that were not available for are now available once we're in multi-select mode. That includes reset email list to normal to go back to the way we were, delete selected emails as a group, move selected emails as a group to a new folder, and mark selected emails as unread. So what I'd like to do now is select the last email and another email here as an example of a group of 2 that I would like to delete. The number of selections can be as many as you need to have. In this case, we'll just use 2. Now that I've made my multi-selections, I'm going to use the multi-select function, delete selected emails, as you see here. I'll get a warning because this cannot be backed out once the change is made. I can cancel if I want to, or I can go ahead and do the deletions. I'll tap on OK, and those emails are deleted, and you get a confirmation saying the operation is complete. And I'll click OK here. Notice that we have gone back now to the normal mode where you can again select multi-select or edit, but the multi-select functions are now grayed out until we go back into the multi-select mode again. Looking at the selection list, it is back in normal mode and is not in multi-select mode.